Hi everybody, welcome back to Crafts by KMW. I am Karen and I am so excited that you are watching this video. Thank you so much, and I hope you will enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it. So this is my next haul video, and this video is about 2 months in the making. These are items that I have bought in April and May mostly. Most of the items are from Amazon, some are from Etsy, and some might be elsewhere. So I want to preface this before I get into showing you everything I got, that I really like most everything this time. Sometimes I buy things and I don't actually really like them, and I share them to give you warnings and heads up so you don't buy the same product and get disappointed like I did. But in this video, I am pretty much in love with, or at least strong like, with everything I bought. I also want to say that I am not affiliated with any of these companies or products. I am not being paid, and everything I am sharing with you are from my own personal experience and views on the products. I make these videos to share products with you, to give you some ideas and exposure to things that maybe you didn't know were out there or weren't aware of, to help you with your creative efforts and help make your creative outlets more productive and more meaningful for you. I know that I watch a lot of haul videos and I have gotten so many ideas from them and have bought specific products that certain people have shown after I saw the video. For example, I started using gesso because I watched a video about it. So without further ado, I am going to get started. So the first product I'm going to share with you is probably one of my favorites that I bought, and I am already thinking ahead to my favorite products of 2023 video that I will make in January, and this is definitely going to be on it. If not number one, it will definitely be in the top 3. So this item I bought out of necessity, and I am so happy I bought it. The camera's a little shaky because I'm holding it, because this item is kind of big and I can't show it to you well enough with the camera stationary. So let me show you what it is. It is this awesome storage caddy. So this is by a company called Teyga, T-E-Y-G-A, and I got it from Amazon. The listed regular price, because again, at Amazon, prices change sometimes hourly, was $65.99. I got 25% off on it. I don't know if that sale is still good, but I would have paid regular price for it just by looking at the listing. And then when I got it, I was like, oh my gosh, I absolutely would pay $65.99. And if I ever buy a second one, I will definitely pay full price for it. So I have my Brutfuner 520 pencils in it. And as you can see, they fit really well. It says in the listing that it will hold 560 pencils, and it definitely will very well. Some of my containers, you can see, are pretty full. I had to combine the pinks and the reds, but others have a lot of room left. It just depends on what colors you have more of. But that was the reason I bought this. I was not using my Brutfuner 520s at all. They were sitting in the boxes. They come in 2 boxes of 260, and I actually had stuff stacked on top of them. It was just a pain to have to keep reaching in the box and pulling out certain trays and then putting the box back before I started coloring. And so I didn't use them. So now I am definitely using them. So this caddy is bamboo and it rotates, as I stated. The bamboo is really nice quality. It's very smooth. I love how it has these little openings so you can grab onto the little bin if you want. So there are 9 bins in here. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And there are the triangular ones. These are triangular. And then there's a octagonal sort of circular one in the middle. And the best part about this is this feature. They come out. I was hooked and sold when I saw that. So every single one of these pieces comes out, even the center. And that is so great for coloring. This piece gets pretty heavy when you fill it. Now I have 520 pencils in it, and I would say this thing is weighing about 10 pounds, maybe more. I don't think I'm that good at estimating weight, so my guess at 10 pounds might be a little conservative. But it is quite heavy, and to have to move it close to you or closer to you every time you want to access a certain color is just not feasible. So this way you can pull out what you want, bring it close to you, and then put it back. You can also rearrange things. Like if I wanted to use browns, purples, and blues, and they're not together, I can rearrange them, put the browns, purples, and blues together, and have access to them right close to one another. I mean, I just can't say enough great things about this product. It was packaged really nicely, really well. It came quick, and I just totally support this product and encourage you, if you need a large storage caddy for either one set of supplies like I have or a bunch of different things, I would strongly recommend this product to you. It is just amazing. I'm so happy I bought it. And again, if I ever need another one, I will buy this product again. So that is that. And now we're going to move on to the next thing. So the next product I want to share with you is actually 2 of the same product, just different colors. So in my last haul video, I shared some of these color petal inks that I bought, and I wound up buying 2 more. So they are really nice. They are marketed toward kids, but it does say for art workers, and they are really nice inks. Most of them work really well. They are juicy. The pad is really soft, so you can get deeper color in some places or go lighter if you want. I am really happy with these. I think I have 5 now total. So this color is 1007, and this one was $10.99. I bought this one because I wanted a really deep blue. I don't know if you can tell that's blue. And then I also wanted a yellow. So that's why I bought this one. And then this one is color 1003, and this one, yes, was also $10.99. So I bought this one again for the blues and a couple of extra pinks and a darker purple. So these are really nice. I recommend them if you use ink a lot. They work great with applicators. They work great on their own. You can pull out each little individual piece. Really nice inks for the price. The prices vary. Certain colorways are different prices. I think one of the first ones I bought, I got one for $6.99. Another one, I think I paid $9.99. And they're sold, it seems, by a lot of different sellers. So check through if you want to buy a certain one. Like say if you wanted to buy this one, search through all the sellers because you may be able to find a seller that sells it a dollar or two cheaper than others. So that's that. So the next one I want to show you is not something I paid for, but it is a cool product and I just wanted to share it with you because I think it gets overlooked a lot. So these are my collection of Crayola Supertips. So I had my own set. They come in, I think, different sizes. I bought the 100 box, which I think is their largest size. I'm not sure, but at least it was at the time. I've probably had these for 8 to 10 years, I would say. I'm surprised they still work, but they do. And then I wound up getting another set free from work. I work for an organization that is very community minded. We serve the community. And so within our own organization, we serve each other as well. So if you want to get rid of some things, you have some things that you're not using anymore or that you don't really like, you can bring them to work and put them out on a counter that we have in our break room for other people to take and enjoy. And I was so lucky to get these along with a whole bunch of Sharpie markers and some brush tip markers as well. I was going to share the brush tip markers with you, but I don't know who they're made by. It doesn't say a manufacturer name on the marker, so it won't really help you too much. But these I just wanted to share. These are the Crayola Supertips. And Crayola products generally are marketed towards kids, and so they're not artist quality. But I will tell you that I've been using these markers more now in my coloring books, and I'm really enjoying them. I use them to put a layer of color down first, and then I add colored pencil on top so I can get all of the shading and highlights and lowlights. I wouldn't recommend using these as your only method of coloring unless you put several layers on. The more layers you put on, the more you will be able to get the streaking to disappear. But I think they are great for laying down color, getting the paper covered so you don't have to worry about that, and then layering them with colored pencil. So for the price, and I don't know exactly what the price they're being sold for now, but I know it's a good price. Crayola products are very reasonably priced. So to get 100 markers, I would say, I think they're definitely under $10, is a really good buy. So just wanted to put that out there. If you're looking for some markers and you don't want to pay a hefty price, the Crayola Supertips are great. So this next one is a couple of products in one. So this first thing is this 120 pencil case. And as you can see, the company name is printed right here, Shoelaner. I tried to get this off because I don't really like it and I can't get it off. So it's just gonna have to stay there. But as I said, this is for 120 pencils. I paid $16.99 for it on Amazon. Now, I did think that was a little pricey. I had a really hard time finding a 120 case. I wanted it for 2 sets of 50 pencils that I have, and I didn't want to just get a 100 case because then nothing else would really fit inside it. And if I add new pencils, I can't put anything else in it. So I wanted to do 120, and it was really hard to find a 120 case. and the ones that I found were really expensive. I bought a case that holds, I think, 350 for like $25. So to buy one for $16.99 that only holds 120 is not a great deal, but again, I couldn't really find too many, so I went with this one. I really like the pattern. This one comes in several different patterns, and this pattern actually comes in a couple different colors. It comes in champagne, which I think is a kind of a beigey color, blue, and pink. So I got the green one. It's really well made. So you see here the spine. I like how the spine is covered. And this is the back. The hardware is silver, which I really like. It has a carrying handle. Seems pretty sturdy. The zipper closures, there's 3 different compartments. And the zipper closure, again, is silver, which I like. And it seems to be pretty sturdy and work really well. So let me show you the inside. So here's the inside of the case. And I really liked it because it has the individual slots. That's what I was looking for. Some of the other 120 cases had the wider slots that hold like 3 or 4 pencils together, and I didn't want that. So this one is working just fine for me, and it's almost full. I wanted to leave, I have 2 different sets in here. I wanted to leave some space in between, so this is working perfect for me. I'm not sure if I would recommend it at the $16.99 price. I definitely like the case. If you can get it cheaper, I would say try to do that, because I do think the price was expensive. And then the second item that I wanted to share that is in this case is the Brutfuner 15 Macaron colored pencils. So I took these out of the box. This is what the box looks like. So it's just a cardboard box, not fancy or anything like that. So this is the back. I took them out right away because, again, the box is not that sturdy. Hello, Finn. So here's my cat once again, making himself known. And I wanted to get them in a case. The trays that they come in aren't that great either. So they're not that sturdy. So it was important that I got them in a case quickly. So I did a video on these pencils, comparing them with Color. So I'm not going to talk about that. You can go watch the video, and I hope you do, because I think it's kind of interesting. But I like these pencils a lot. I would recommend them if you're looking for some pastel colored pencils. Many colored pencil sets don't do really great with the pastels. Like I have that Brutfuner 520 pencil set, and there are really not a whole lot of pastels in there. There are some repeats with this one. For example, this yellow is also in the 520 set, so it's probably in some of their smaller sets too. But most of the colors are not, so I was really happy about that. And I really like these pencils. They sharpen really nice. For the $16.85 price, they are pretty pigmented. You're not going to expect $20 pencils to be as pigmented as the Caran d'Ache or the Prismacolor, but for the price, these are pretty pigmented. They blend fairly well. They layer fairly well. They're not super, super waxy. They are more waxy than, say, other higher priced pencils like the Prismacolors, but they work really well. These are actually oil-based pencils, which I really like. So I would recommend them. Again, for the price, you are getting pretty good quality. All right, so that's that. So next, I'm going to show you some of the new washi tapes I got. So I don't have the packaging anymore. I have put them into my makeshift washi tape holder. This is actually a drawer cutlery holder that I inherited from my grandmother. This thing is probably 75 to 80 years old. It is 100% wood, and it's actually perfect for washi tape. So these are the ones that I got. So I got 2 sets, and they are both by or made by 3M. So the first one, I'm looking on my cheat sheet here for prices. So the first one I bought was this gold and silver pack. So it had 8 rolls of tape. So there are gold and silver glitter, there's black, and there's gold, silver, and gold metallic. So, and also some copper. Sorry, there's copper as well. So that set was, I'm sorry, not 3M, Scotch. So that set was $21.49, and each roll is 5.79 yards, so about 6 yards each. And they're different widths. Some are a little bit wider, some are a little bit thinner. And then the other set I bought, also from Scotch, was the colored glitter washi tape. So these are all glitters. They're all the same size. So there's gold, silver, copper, black, white, and then you get some colors in here, blue, couple reds, and a magenta and a light green. So these were $15.37, and these are about 5.5 yards each, 5.46. So I have used both of them already, and they stick pretty well. I would say I was a little surprised. I would think that Scotch brand, because they make tape, that they would stick a little bit better. If you've used washi tape before, you know that washi tape is notoriously not sticky. And if you want it to last, you need to add glue to it. I usually add glue dots or a glue stick, or liquid glue. So I almost always add more because I'm often using washi tape in my journals that I make and sell on my Etsy store. So I want those to stick down. So, I always add glue, but these sort of stick. I would say if you're using it just on paper, like matte paper that's not glossy, and you're using it to stick down like an elephant, a picture, or a frame, or a piece of ephemera, I think you would be okay. And especially if you're going to store it flat and maybe it's inside a book or inside a protector, I think it will be fine. But if you're using it to keep things attached, or if you're using it on something that may not be exactly flat, I would definitely say add glue. But I would recommend these. They're really nice colors. The glitter are very glittery. They don't come off. It is firmly on there. You're not going to get glitter all over your fingers or all over what you're working on. So I would definitely recommend these. I think they're a little high priced. You know, $15, $21 for washi tape, I think is a lot. But I wanted some metallics and glitters, and I know the Scotch name. And for me, certain products just warrant buying from a quality company that I know of. I have another product in here that matters to me a lot, and I'll share that with you soon. But washi tape, I think it is definitely advantageous and worth it to buy from a reputable company, because you want to get the best stick that you can. And so that mattered to me. So I was okay with paying a little bit higher. All right, so next, so this one is not like a super fantastic product, but I just wanted to share it with you in case you were like me and are looking specifically for this. So these are hole reinforcers. These are by Just Stationery. I got these on Amazon. You get 16 sheets of 32 hole reinforcers. So I think that's a pretty nice amount. And these were $7.14, which are a little bit pricey for hole reinforcers. You can probably go to the dollar store and buy a pretty decent sized pack for $1.25, but I wanted these for a specific reason. Most hole reinforcers have that plastic coating on them to make them more sturdy and unrippable, which I totally agree with. However, for me, I am using these in journaling and in my own journals and scrapbooks, as well as those I make for my Etsy store. And I often want to color them. And the plastic coated ones are nearly impossible to color. You can do it with permanent alcohol markers. And I found like Sharpies work the best. Regular alcohol markers don't really work well. You need the permanent as well. But if you don't let them dry for like days, you can easily rub off the color. If it happens to get scratched or hits anything, it's going to rub off the color. And so that's just not something I want. So these are not coated. So I'm going to hold these up and hopefully you can see that they are flat. So these can be colored with chalk, colored pencil, water-based markers, whatever you want, so you can get the colors that you want. So that really meant something to me. I wanted that. So I really had to search for these. There are not a lot of brands. And when I did the Amazon search, those with the plastic coating were also coming up. So it was really hard to discern which ones were the paper and not coated. So I would definitely recommend these. Again, they're by Just Stationery. If you craft like me and you want to be able to color these and make them your own. So the next product I got was the Trim and Score refill pack for my paper trimmer from We Are Memory Keepers. I have a We Are Memory Keepers paper trimmer. I really, really like it. If you're in the market for a new paper trimmer, I would check that out. You can buy it on Amazon. I also believe they sell them on HSN. Home Shopping Network. I don't know if they'd be any cheaper, but oftentimes on HSN you get bundles. So you might get the paper trimmer with like a set of refills, maybe some paper, maybe some other accessories for one certain price, and you wouldn't be able to buy that anywhere else. So it might be worth it to check it out. But I use my paper trimmer all the time, so I just needed some replacement blades. So these were $13.39, which I thought was a really good price for these. It seemed to be pretty standard for replacement blades. So the next product I got were these silicone brushes. So these were $10.99. You got both of them, a wide one and a skinnier one. I did not write down the company name, and it's not on the packaging at all. Pretty poor marketing. So I don't know who makes these, but I have not used them yet. As you can see, they're still in the package. I bought these because I have some transparent texture paste that I bought from Tim Holtz, and I used it in a video, and you can actually watch that video if you want. I used it to make a fishbowl page, fishbowl on it page, look like it was glass. And it sort of worked out, but I used a foam brush, and the foam brush still left marks and did not let the texture paste be pretty flat. And so I was looking for some brushes that I can use with that will hopefully not leave any marks at all. And I read up on it and found that silicone brushes work really well for that. So I am looking forward to trying that. The next time I use the texture paste on a video, I will definitely use one of these brushes. And so I can share with you how that works. So the next one, I actually just got these today. So these are the Art & Fly brush tip blender markers. You get 3 of them. And I did not write down on my sheet how much these were. I am thinking that these were 12 something on Amazon. I can't remember if that was the original price or if that's a sale price or a special price. I just don't know. But it seemed like these were really reasonably priced. I have not opened them up at all yet. Let me see if I can get the package open. So I bought these to use with my alcohol markers. Now, I do not have Art & Fly alcohol markers. I have Spectrum Noir. But as far as I could tell, you can pretty much use any blender with any alcohol marker. If you have any knowledge of that or experience about that, please let me know in the comments. I would love to learn more. I have not tried these yet, but I will soon. I'm actually going to do a alcohol marker color along pretty soon. I don't know how soon, but that is one of my videos to make in the next few weeks or month or so. So I will be trying these out with the alcohol markers I have. I really thought these were cool because you get a chisel end, which is really nice if you're trying to blend larger areas. And then you also get a brush tip, which I thought is really nice too. I like the brush tip. They're very flexible. And so I thought that was great. So you're kind of getting double the markers with this. So like I said, I haven't tried these out yet. If you have any experience with these, I would love to find out how you like them. Please put something in the comments. So the next item I got, again, was another freebie. And this one is the Creative Lettering and Beyond book, inspiring tips, techniques, and ideas for hand lettering your way to beautiful works of art. So this is a pretty large book, and I don't know if you can kind of get the scale of it there, but I would say it's probably 9 by 13, something like that. And it is pretty thick. I was really excited to get this book free. So I'm not going to go through it, but it gives you lots of examples of cool writing projects you can do. Like this one was lettering on China, and just a lot of different things, a lot of different projects. This one is on like a old window, and you can add words on there, and it tells you step-by-step instructions. It gives you some open practice pages, which I think is pretty cool. I was sort of looking for some examples of alphabets, and there's really one. So here is the example of the alphabet that they give you in this book. And I think that's great, but I was really looking for some more. It does show you how to write in calligraphy style. So I would, if you can find this book, I don't know if it's still available now. I don't know how old this book is. The regular listed price is $19.95 in US, $12.99 UK, $21.95 Canada. Again, I'm not sure how old this is. It doesn't look like it was very used by the person who had it, so I really can't tell by that. But if you can find this book, I would recommend it if you are looking for some project ideas and some ideas that you can use to make cool projects. It doesn't give you lettering styles necessarily, but it does give you some some ideas for making full projects, which I think is really good. Eventually, I will hopefully get to trying some of the ideas in that book, along with the like million other things I have on my plate to do. So next is this photo double-sided paper. This is 12 by 12. Now, I actually did not buy this. I got this, I think, by accident from Amazon. I did not purchase it. It was not in my cart. So they just kind of sent it to me. I don't know if it was a mistake, if it made it in there by accident, or if someone else was supposed to get it. I don't know. But I did contact them and they told me just to keep it. So I'm really excited about this because I do scrapbooking, and sort of the standard size for scrapbooking pages is 12 by 12. I do a lot of digital scrapbooking, so sometimes I do want to print those pages for display or to put in a book. And this is by Photo Paper Direct, compatible with all inkjet printers. I really like that it's double-sided. I try to get double-sided paper whenever I can because it is such a pain to figure out which side goes up. And for me, I don't know about you, it is really hard to tell. I have to actually put it like right in a light to be able to tell which side is the coated side and which side is not. And I have gotten it wrong plenty of times. So I really, really like that this is double-sided. I can just stick it in and I don't have to worry about it at all. It is 53 pound, which I think is pretty nice paper. So if you're looking for some scrapbooking paper to print on, I think this would even be good for coloring book pages. It is matte. So I think if you wanted to print some square pages or make some pages square, I think this would be really nice. Most PDFs of coloring pages are not in 12 by 12 size, but you can definitely resize it and make it to whatever size you want. So I think this is going to be nice paper. Again, I haven't tried it, but I think it's going to be good. So this one is actually paper that I bought. So hang on. I'm trying to get this so you can see the label. It's very large paper. So this is made by Canson, which is a leader in the paper making field. I've been using Canson paper since the mid 1990s when I started scrapbooking. Probably aged myself a little bit there, but this is the XL brand. This is mixed media paper. It is 12 by 18 inches and 98 pound. I have not used this brand of mixed media paper before, but the price was really, really good. So this for 100 sheets at 12 by 18. Oh my gosh, I did not write the price. Okay. I do remember that it was really, really well priced. If I remember when I watch this video back, I'll I'll put a note up there of what the price was. I know it was not very expensive because I wouldn't have bought it if it was for 100 sheets of paper. But I often use this for printing my PDF coloring pages that I buy. Mixed media paper is really nice. It has some tooth. It works for all mediums, paint, chalks, colored pencil, whatever you're using. And I tend to use a lot of different media. So this really works for me. So I'm really excited to try out the Canson, but I know their paper and I am pretty confident that it's going to be really nice paper. So next I have a couple of coloring books that I got. So this one is the Mythographic Color and Discover Aquatic book. This is by Joseph Caddy. If you've never seen the Mythographic books before, they have, I think, 4 or 5 different illustrators for their books. So I tend to like the Joseph Caddy ones the most. I have 3 of the Mythographic books now, and they're all from Joseph Caddy. So I don't know if I consciously do that, but the ones that I gravitate to just happen to be illustrated by him. I actually have a full color along of this, or not color along, excuse me. I have a full flip through of this book on my channel. So if you would like to see the pages up close and personal and all the pages, you can check that out. But this is all illustrations taken of in the sea. So these are all underwater animals and mermaids and just really fantastical, beautiful images. Very complex, very detailed. Beautiful book. And this one, when I bought it, was $18.99 regular price. I got it for $14.82 on sale. I imagine if you look around, you might be able to find it even cheaper than that. It's a really thick book on great paper, so I feel like $14, $15 was a good price for it. So this next one is the Caddy Witchs coloring book. This one is by Collodin. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. So this was just a cute little book that I bought. I love cats, as you can tell, because pretty much every video my cat Finn makes an appearance. So this one was $6.99. It is an Amazon printed book. I think it's about 8.5 by 11, not super thick, but the pages are one-sided and they are backed with black. If you're not sure about that, they do that to help with the bleed through. And so this just has really cute, whimsical pictures of cats with witches' hats, in cauldrons, pumpkins. So kind of like a Halloween book. I thought this would be really fun for just some quick coloring, fun, light coloring. I could probably finish a page in an hour or 2. So I would recommend this book if you like cats. It's just a really cute, fun little book. And then next is The Beauty of Horror 6 by Alan Robert, Famous Monster Pieces. I have a full flip through also of this book on my channel. And this is, my flip through is actually Alan Robert approved. He put a comment on it saying that he really enjoyed the flip through. It was great and he was going to share it. I don't know where he shared it or if he did, but just to get that from the illustrator creator of a coloring book series just was like over the top exciting to me. And I will always remember that. So this one, he horrified some famous, very famous works of art. There are paintings, sculptures in here. My book is kind of falling apart, so it's really hard for me to flip through the pages, but just really fun, whimsical. If you're looking for some different types of coloring books, I really highly suggest this one. It is not horror in the sense of extreme gore or disturbing images. It's horror in the sense of zombies and vampires and bones and things like that. So it's not like your typical horror coloring book. And each one of these artworks have been just taken to a really creative, fun level. And I am not a fan of horror movies or Halloween or the horror genre or blood or gore, monsters, murders, guts. I am not a fan of that at all, but I love these books. So check out the flip through if you'd like to see more. And I do recommend this book. I got this on Amazon. I paid $13.58 for it. It was on sale. The original price or the regular price is $16.99. I don't know if this is still on sale. It probably is because it's relatively new. I think it came out in March, February or March. So you probably can get it on sale. I know they sell the Beauty of Horror books at Target as well. So you might want to check there to compare prices. And then the next one is Alien Worlds by Kirby Rosannes. I love Kirby Rosannes. I have all of his Worlds books. I'm not a fan of his earlier books like the Mythographic or some of those other books. I don't even know all the titles, but I'm not a fan of those because they are hidden picture books. And I'm just not a fan of hidden picture books. I think that this is my personal opinion. If you like them, I'm not trying to diss you or anything like that, but I think they ruin the images. You know, you have this beautiful picture of like a bird, and then you have just this random pot or playing card or candle stuck in there just to be a hidden picture. And I think it ruins the images. So his Worlds books are not hidden picture ones. So if you're looking for highly detailed, whimsical, gorgeous pictures to color, check out Kirby Rosannes if you haven't already. I also have a full flip through of this book on the channel that you can check out. It is about 10 by 10 square, 10.5 by 10.5 square. It is very, very thick. There are, I don't know how many, probably 90 to 100 images in here. It is double-sided, so there are images back to back, but the paper is really thick and really high quality. It's cardstock, and you can hear it. So it will take wet media pretty well. I use watercolors and gelatos and paint on here, and it might buckle the paper a little bit, but it does not rip it or even bleed through on the back. So this book just shows you lots of different planets and the creatures that live in it. And I really think it's cool because he does it sort of like a from the astronaut's point of view. So you get it sort of like a log of what he saw. And here is the astronaut at the back. So again, if you're looking for something different, something that maybe you're not really attracted to, that's whimsical, fun, fantastical, where you can really stretch yourself, use different techniques, use different mediums, use different colors. When I color this book, I am going to use funky colors for everything. There's not going to be a blue sky or a brown rock or a green grass or anything. I'm going to use all funky, wild colors, and I'm so excited to be able to do that. So I highly recommend this book as well if you're looking for a coloring book that's different. And then the last coloring book I got was Tim Jeff's Art Animal Collages. So this is a relatively new book as well. So he takes a lot of his former drawings. So these are drawings that he's already done in other books of his. I have one other book of his, a hardcover book. It's gorgeous. And he combined them to make collages. So you just have many different animals in a picture. I love this one. This one's the owls. I love owls. Here we have insects. Some of them are vertical, some are horizontal. Some of them have just one animal, and I think it's a collage because there's like a background. I'm not really sure about that, but the images are gorgeous. They are dark. It is grayscale. But for me, I think that's really helpful because if you want something dark, you don't have to color it. You can leave it just as it is. And I really like that. So I think these types of books are really good for beginners because it's not overwhelming. Like this picture here, it looks very detailed, but really when you look at it, you don't have that much that you need to add color to because there will probably be areas that you want to be left dark. So really nice book. This one was $15.99. I do think it's a little pricey. It's Amazon printed paper, so not really thick, not the best quality, very smooth, shiny. But for his artwork, which is, as you can see, super detailed and realistic, I think it's worth it. I would recommend this book if you love animals. All right, so next I got some transparency film to print on. Again, I make journals, both for myself and for my Etsy store. So I thought that it would be really cool to get some transparency film to be able to print some images on that are clear. So here you can see a picture of like what an image would look like on a transparency if you've never seen it before. I did a whole video using this transparency film already on the channel. I showed some of the pages that I printed and I also showed some of them cut out and what you could use them for. So I show you different examples. So you might want to check that out if you've never seen or used printable transparency film before. This one is from Weeloo, and this one I paid $9.99 for 10 bucks. There's 30 sheets. And I found this to be really, really nice transparency film. I used to use transparency film years ago, and I stopped buying it because it was really awful. They would put this coating on it that was really sticky, and if you didn't use it up in a certain amount of time, it would start to yellow. So I had just found a pack that I bought like 3 years ago, and it was all yellow and totally unusable. So it seems like the printable transparency market has really come of age, and they have gotten it to the point where the transparencies don't have this ucky coating on that you can see or feel. This one actually has printed side marked on the packaging. So when you take a sheet out, you know that the printed side is facing up, and that's how you need to put it in your printer so it will print properly. If you print it on the non-printable side, I don't even know if the ink will stick, and if it does, it will smear right off. I don't think it'll ever dry. So you just have to be careful of that. But if you want to try something new in your journals or scrapbooks, I think this is a really nice place to start. You can print images on it, cut them out, overlay them on just paper, journaling blocks, photos, tags. Really, really versatile. They also have a 60 pack, which I think is around $20. So once I use these, I will definitely buy the 60 pack. I wasn't sure. I'd never tried these from this company before, and I wasn't sure how it would work out, so I didn't want to buy the biggest pack in case I hated them. But now I know that they work really well, and I will definitely buy the bigger pack when I buy again. And then I also bought, for the first time, clear sticker paper. And I am not sure of the company. Hold on. I think, I think this might be the company name, a bunch of letters. I don't really know. It's made in China. I'm not sure. Maybe it's HCH. I really don't know. So it says here, thanks for your purchase in those letters. So maybe that is the company name. I don't know. But this is quick drying, waterproof sticker paper that you can use to make stickers. So here are the images on the label, so you can print it and then stick it on things and have clear stickers. So I, again, thought this would be really cool. It is called vinyl, printable vinyl. And I'm just gonna open this up so you can see a sheet. I haven't even, as you can see, I haven't opened this up. So they're just clear sticker sheets, and there's a white backing to it, so you definitely know what the printable side is. So you definitely want to print on the clear, shiny vinyl side. This was $9.99. There are 15 sheets. Tiny bit expensive, but you would expect it to be because these are vinyl. They're a little bit thicker. On the back, it gives you directions on how to use it. I'm not going to go through that, but it looks pretty simple. I have not tried these out yet, but I probably will at some point soon, and either make a video of it or at least show them on camera when I'm making something else, so you can see what they look like. Oh, I have one more coloring book, sorry. So this is Mythographic Aviary. So again, this is by Joseph Cadembang. And this is the newest book that I bought. This one came out March 21st. I don't think it's their newest book. I think they have some other newer ones. I think there's a Mythographic Cosmic that came out that's even newer than this one, but this is the newest one that I have. And again, I have a full flip through on the channel if you would like to check that out. But these are all birds, imaginary birds, real birds, even including chickens, small birds, big birds, just really, really beautiful illustrations. This, I believe, is not a, yes, this is not a hidden picture book, which I was just over the moon about. The Mythographic Aquatic one that I showed you earlier is. And what I do is I use either white gel pen or white Posca pen and just go over the lines of all of the objects, and then I just fill them in, draw lines where they're needed to cover it, or just color over it. And so I get rid of those hidden pictures, those hidden objects. So If you're not a fan of hidden objects either, you can just cover the lines of those objects with white Posca pen or gel pen. I find that Posca works better if you get the real thin Posca. So this is just a gorgeous book, one-sided, really thick, about 10.5 by 10.5 square. It is on great paper, again, pretty thick cardstock. And I paid $14.82 for this on sale. Original price was $18.99. The Mythographic books are kind of pricey. They are in the $18.99 range. So if you can get them on sale, it's just a bonus. But I do think they are worth the price. The paper's great. The illustrations are gorgeous, super detailed. And I really do think that they are worth the price. All right, so the next items I have, it's actually 3. So, and these are all the same type of items. So they're all the molds, the decorative molds. So this is the one that I got I think I got in April. I've made several videos using this one. I made one video showing how you can use these molds with hot glue gun glue, and it works perfectly. You don't have to go out and buy clay or resin or anything like that. If you got a hot glue gun, you can make these molds. And then I also used it in a more recent video where I show how I decorated them with paint. And then I have a third video where I show you how I use these. So you can check those videos out. This one is by Redesign. And let me see if I can find out how much I paid for this. This one I bought on Etsy. I think all 3 of these I bought on Etsy. And okay, I do not know exactly, but I am pretty sure that I paid about $18.99 for this full price. I had a hard time finding it for a lower price, so I just went ahead and got it. Beautiful mold, lots of detail, really nice to put on covers of like a book or a scrapbook, really pretty. And then this one is from Imaginarium. This one I also got on Etsy. So this one is frames, and these are Baroque frames. And this one I got on Etsy for $18.99 plus tax. So I think it came to about $21 with the tax, which I thought was totally worth it. So it makes a bunch of different frames. I also use these in the video where I showed decorating them, painting them, and in the video where I showed what I did with them. So you can see these molded pieces in a couple of videos if you'd like to check those out. Really, really lovely mold. And then this one is the one I just got. So this one is from, hold on, trying to see, Frank Garcia Memory Hardware. So this is called Decor Molds. This is the Vincennes hardware. So you can see the picture of it here with completed pieces. And so let me take out the mold. So the mold is, actually, it's really hard to see. So here you can see there are 6 different hardware pieces on here you can mold. I have not used this yet, but I'm going to very soon. I have a couple journals that I've made that need something on the front, and I'm going to put some of these on there. So this one I got on Etsy, and this one I got for $11.69 with five something shipping. I think like $5.60 shipping. And with the tax, it came to $18.90, which I thought was fabulous. I really like to spend like $18, $19 for these molds with shipping and tax. One tip I would give you if you're looking for some decorative molds, look around. Look on different websites. Look on Amazon. Look on like Michael's, because they sell them too. Look on Etsy. And try to find the cheapest price you can. I was like, I couldn't press the buy now button fast enough when I saw $11.69. That is a really good price. And even though I had to pay shipping, it was worth it because I still got it for the same price that some of the other ones are sold without shipping and tax added. And then the last item right now that I want to show you, I might add one more little section to this. I'm not sure. I may end it, I may not. So this is the fabulous Ohuhu set of 24 metallic acrylic paints. Now this I was looking for to use with my molded pieces. I wanted to add some metallic paint to the top. Sometimes I paint the base in like a matte acrylic paint, and then I like to use metallics on top. And at first I had apple barrel paints in my cart. So there were 8 of them for $21.99. Apple Barrel, I know the name. I've been using Apple Barrel paints forever, probably as long as I've been crafting. I have several pieces in my house that were painted with Apple Barrel paints, so I know they're high quality. But I wasn't happy with only 8 colors, so I kept searching, and I found this one. This was one instance where brand really mattered to me. I'm a crafter. I'm not a painter. I'm not an artist. I am a colorist, a journalist, a scrapbooker, but I do not use paint on a daily basis, even a weekly basis. So when I buy paints, I want quality because I don't use them that often. And I want to make sure that they will last and that they are really good quality so I don't have to spend more money. So when I saw the Ohuhu name, I was like, yeah, this is the first Ohuhu product I've owned, but I do know that they have really good alcohol markers that rival the quality of Copics for about half the price. Copics are like the Mac Daddy OG of alcohol markers. Although I will say that I think Spectrum Noir is up there as well. But if you're looking for really high quality alcohol markers and don't want to spend a ton of money, Ohuhu is usually the go-to. So I knew the name and I was like, okay, I'm going to try these. I am so happy I did. These are fantastic. These are some of the best paints I've ever used. And not that I've used a lot, but of the crafters paints that I've used, they are better. They are better than the Apple Barrel. I know, I can't believe I said it. If you're a crafter, you probably know Apple Barrel well, and these are better. So the regular price of these were $29.99. I got them for $26.99 on sale. Not really a huge sale. I think it's like 5%, but it was okay for me because it's like $1 and change per bottle, which I think is a really, really good value versus the Apple Barrel, which were like $3 and change for a bottle. And so these are great. They come in a really nice sturdy box. and they give you these swatches on top. So you get your normal silver, copper, and gold. They have a couple golds. They have a copper gold and a bright gold. So the bright gold is more shiny. The copper gold is more matte and kind of subdued and aged looking. And you also get a white, which I was really excited about. You get black. And you also get this great silver gray, which is really, to me, it's between the silver and the black. So if you're using silver and you'd like to show some shaded areas or darker areas, you could use this silver gray really well. And then you also get a variety of other colors. You get pinks and reds. You even get a peach. You get yellow, purple, blues, greens. So it is just a really nice set, pretty much every color that I could ask for. So let me just show you inside. Now this box is really sturdy enough to be your permanent, semi-permanent storage. I'm going to use this box and just keep them right in here. I'm not going to move them anywhere else. Some cardboard boxes are not really sturdy and you really can't use them for long, but this one you definitely can. So here are the bottles. They're not all that exciting, but you can see the colors and they are just to die for. I have used these in a couple different videos. I used them in a video and I can't remember exactly what the title is, but I think it's something like my first time using paint in a coloring book, where I actually painted with a paintbrush. And I use these paints. I use the copper, and the copper is one of my favorite colors. It is exquisite. It is so bright and beautiful. It's not an aged copper. I would not use it if you want an aged look. I would probably use the copper gold instead, but it is an exquisite color. And I think there's also another video. Yes, there's another video where I use these, where I'm painting the molded pieces that I made. So you can see those. And I used a bunch of the different colors. I used the red, I used the white, I used the blue, I used gold, copper, I used the silver gray. So if you want to see a little bit more about what the colors actually look like live and in person when they're painted, you can check that out. These are super worth the money. They're super metallic. Just a little tip if you buy them. And if you have these paints, tell me what you think about this, if you agree with me. Use just a teeny tiny little bit. I painted in a Hannah Carlson book, a double page spread, and it had water. And I used the metallic paints on the water. And I thought I was going to use a pretty nice dollop of paint. I didn't even use half of it. The paint is so thick and rich. It goes super, super far. You only need a little bit. You can always squirt out more, but if you squirt out too much, then you either waste it, which I hate wasting paint, or you have to use it on other pages, which I did wind up doing. I just went through other pages and other books and found places where I could use blue metallic or whatever I was using. It goes really, really far. So even though these are 2-ounce bottles, which is kind of small, I think they're going to last a really long time because it is so thick. You don't need a lot. You can mix them with water. My personal opinion is that it tends to minimize the metallic look a little bit. You don't get as bright and shiny and metallic of a look when you mix them with water. So I really try not to. I just use them straight from the bottle. Really, really love these paints. Again, this will probably appear in my favorite products of 2023 video, somewhere in the top 3 or 5, I would imagine. So really recommend these if you're looking for metallic paints. So I'm going to do an ending here. I may add another clip on, not sure, but thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did find some products in here that you like or that you would like to purchase, I would love to know that in the comments, and that would help out other people as well to know what things seem pretty good. If you have any of these products, please feel free to put your thoughts about them in the comments. Even if you don't agree with me, I think it's really helpful to other people. And I would love for you to smash that little thumbs up and give this video a like. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out. And I am really working hard to get my channel to my first 1,000 subscribers. And so every subscription means a lot and matters to me. I make these videos for you. And so it really is just so helpful to me, and I'm so appreciative of every single subscriber. If you have any suggestions for videos, please put that in the comments as well. I love to make videos that you would like to see, and it gives me ideas as well. So thank you so much again for watching, and I hope you have a very crafty day.